All right.
Well, no questions. We'll turn it over.
That's perfect. How do you feel about the rate hike?
Well, I mean, I think that there's no secret that the cost of doing business for everyone in any business is going up. We are going to see some things that are we're going to be challenged to take on. I'm sure there's going to be some tuition price increases. We don't know what that looks like yet because we haven't got the final budget from Frankfurt and from the university as to what that looks like. And travel, things like that have gone up. We've had some success in our programs, and we want to make sure we keep good people around here. We've got some capital needs that we've got to address. If our other facility projects go through, that alleviates one set of issues. It also leaves us with holes in other areas that we need to fix. We were just discussing it. We've got a track program that has been scoring points and doing very well for us, and our athletes are performing at a high level in many respects. And we've probably got one of the worst tracks of anybody in the country, and it's something that's been needed to have addressed a long time, and we just have not been able to get to it, and it needs our attention. So there's a variety of things that this gives us the opportunity to be able to address depending on what happens in the other conversations.
To make that clear, the $6 increase, is that that's a $6 per game for single games? And then what's the season ticket price? Is it $6?
If you do, it depends. If you do the math, you see what the discount is. The total price of the season ticket, sideline season ticket, is $272.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do the math on the BCS, non-BCS games, you can get the discount. I forget what that is. I don't have my math in front of me, so don't hold me to that.
That will be a $307.
Okay.
On that.
Thank you, Tony.
It'll be a $35 discount.
Thank you, Tony.
Over single game prices.
Appreciate that.
So it would be $307 if you bought a single ticket.
Single game, $272 if you buy the season ticket. Yes.
So, Mitch, the tickets are actually inexpensive compared to other schools in the league?
Well, the other schools in our league, everybody structures theirs a little bit differently. You saw where Georgia's and Florida's season ticket price is a little less than ours, but their stadiums are also substantially larger than ours, and the number of seats that they have assigned, every seat in their stadium has an assigned scholarship fund seat fee, if you want to call it that, to their deal. So their prices may be a little bit less, but in quantity they have much more, and their sideline seats are significantly more than ours. We're a little bit different. We haven't been in this, if you want to call it, we haven't been in this venue or this structure this way very long, and so we're growing. The number that you saw, the $11.8 million created by the K Fund, is a number that's created for both football and basketball revenues for us. Primarily, those schools that you're talking about in our league are primarily football-driven numbers. They have very little basketball. That is a combined number for us, the $11.8 million. So they're doubling the amount of monies created in their scholarship funds, primarily just from football. So ours is significantly different, and we've just got to be able to continue to make progress and give our program the best chance to be competitive.
Can you make a comment about Rod Strickland and the seriousness of what's going on?
It's a legal matter, and we'll get through the details of that and sit down and handle it appropriately at the time being. I want to have an opportunity to sit down with Rod and with John and with the president, and we'll work our way through that. But we understand the seriousness of the matter. It is a legal issue, and we want to make sure that we understand everything as we go through the conversation.
How do you feel about the fact that I don't think it's his first one?
As I said, it's a legal issue, and I want to work my way through all that, Jerry, and get all the information before we make any decide what direction we're going to head.
Where are you guys right now on basketball ticket prices?
We got to work our way through that as well. I mean, that'll probably be a little bit of a piece as we look at our budget for next year. Trying to get all our numbers together in terms of our needs, and we're trying to determine what direction all these facility pieces are taking, and that will have a large impact on what we do. But that's where we stand. We got to come back fairly quickly, I'd say within the next 4 weeks, because those budgets have to be set and be allowed to for July 1. We got to be ready for July 1, and so whatever we do has got to be ready for July 1. So those numbers are a huge piece of our budget process.
So there might be a ticket increase in basketball for this coming season.
We're looking at all things. We're looking at all things, and we've tried to keep everything on a 3-year cycle as best we can. Tried to cycle through that, and we'll look at that in early May.
Was that, you'll have to refresh my memory on that, was that 3 years ago in basketball as well? Was that the last time you
I think
said
so.
something in
I'd
basketball?
have to go back and look at that. I think the K fund adjusted, but I don't think the ticket price did. Or if it did adjust, it maybe off 1 year. We tried to give ourselves something that we could move forward with a little bit financially every year, because if we hold our revenues flat every year, we know the expenses are going to go up every year, and that's just not a spot that's a very safe place for us to be. And we've been unbelievably fortunate that our fan base is so strong and people come to the games. The challenge for us is in the non-Louisville, Tennessee, Florida years in football, it looks a little bit different for us ticket-wise than it does in the non-Louisville, South Carolina, Georgia year. That's a little different for us, a little different look. So we got to be cognizant of that. That's an even odd year kind of deal. So we're watching that pretty closely. The other thing we had last year, you remember we had Alabama last year, and they were another top 10 program in the country, which brought a lot of people to our stadium from their fan base as well. So we got to pay attention to all those kinds of issues for us.
What did I didn't quite catch it. What did you say about the servicemen and women?
The question was, will we be able to continue to have Military Appreciation Day? And we want to do that. Because of the way that we're structured, we have to hold 5,000 tickets, minimum of 5,000 tickets for our away game visitors for the league. So we'll have 2 or 3 non-BCS, with the exception of Louisville, the non-BCS schools that come in to play us won't necessarily take all those tickets. So that creates a window for us to have 2,000, 2,500, maybe sometimes as much as 3,000 seats for the military to use that day, and we will give them basically what they need for that day and let them come up and be a part of that day. And it fills up our stadium, and they have a great time, and I think our crowd gets energized by them, and it's a really great day. So we don't want to give that away. That's important to Kentucky.
Do they pay for those tickets?
No, those are we give them those tickets. That's as part of our gift to what they do for us.
When Dr. Todd was talking about discussions of the arena, would you say it's a 9th inning, 2nd inning, 5th inning?
Oh heck, I think we're just. It feels like extra innings, but we're battling. It's about as complex a deal as I've ever been around. It's not an easy, straightforward discussion, and there's been a lot of curves in the road, so to speak, and so we're just working our way through it, and we'll hopefully be able to make some progress here and get something finalized.
On campus? On campus?
We're just working our way through it. I mean, I think we're open to everything, but the goal is to, we've said all along, the goal is to maintain a strength and community downtown. The president wants that for the vitality of downtown and for the city of Lexington. So that's been the conversation, and we'll hang with that and work our way towards that.
Which, the way the thing has gone, I know there have been some dates you set where you said, well, we might know something by this month or that month. Are you past that point now where it's just changed too much?
The dates keep changing. Yeah. We keep working at it. We get to a spot, and the good news is we take 2 or 3 steps forward and 1 back, but it's extremely complex. That's all I can say to you. It's really a difficult. I've never seen anything quite like it. And there's a reason for that. No one's ever done anything like this, and so I thank our purchasing people and the people in our finance office at the university, and Rob Mullins and the folks at LCC, and everybody's working at it. It's not without effort, So it's important to us. Everybody keeps talking about the arena, but it has broader implications for us. It is the renovation to our football stadium. It is our baseball program. And it gives us freedom to do some things for softball which is having great success right now and doing very, very well. So the fallout for a lot of our programs is really, really important. Then that frees us up to go do some things, like I said, for track and for our tennis programs and some of the things, the facilities that are just struggling. And we're way behind. I mean, we're desperately behind on some of our on-campus athletic facilities in terms of what goes on in our league. And for us to be able to compete and recruit and I give our coaches are doing yeoman's work with sometimes one arm tied behind their back in some respects facility-wise. And we want to try and make that right for them, but it's a challenge.
In that area, Mitch, just to make sure I understand, you're still in the feasibility phase where can it work financially? Is that?
I don't know how you term what phase you would term it, but I would say that that's that's probably as close a depiction as you can possibly. Can we put the pieces of this puzzle together to make it work? And it's a large jigsaw puzzle and many small pieces. And so we're working our way through it, and hopefully we'll get to the finish line here relatively quickly. A lot of people have invested an awful lot of time in it, and a lot of energy. And so I would like to see some good come of it, and I think we can.
Thank you very much, folks.